everyone, I'm Danielle. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, CraftDStitches. This is Flosstube number 12. This is my channel where I talk about my love of cross stitch and the projects I'm working on, and hopefully ones I want to start, and occasionally the ones I finish as well. I'm a cross stitcher that lives near Columbus, Ohio. I have 3 kids that are currently on spring break, so they have been keeping me busy. And I have been stitching since I was 8. So I have a very eclectic style, and you'll see that today from the projects I work on. A lot of my projects will, they're mostly big. I will say that. Most of them are big. Occasionally I'll have a finish and it will usually be a small, but I love the projects that I work on. I am a process stitcher, so I just enjoy the journey. And I do like a finish, and I do love it in my house, but it is just as good to be working on the project itself. So thanks so much for coming with me today. If you like what you see, please subscribe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. So I am going to, it's pretty straightforward today because mostly it's just whips I've been working on. I didn't have any haul this month. I certainly almost bought some things because the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery had a sale. I think it was last weekend, but I decided that I have so many projects I haven't even started yet, like where I bought patterns. So I was like, I'm pretty sure if I really want to start something, I've got something in my box in there. So I did wait, and I am wanting to start something soon, but I actually don't know what it's going to be yet. I've been thinking about just going through the kitted projects I have, or even if they're partially kitted, and kind of deciding from there. So anyway, so no haul. I have no finishes, although I do have one I really want to finish for the next time. I'm hoping I get that done. It's a Easter finish that I had last year that I would like to fully finish for this Easter. Thankfully, Easter's a little bit later this year, so I have an extra bit of time. So we'll just go ahead and jump in with my projects. The first project I worked on since I did my last Flosstube is called Arctic Animals. And this project is a stitch along by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And it started last year, 2024, and it just finished up this last month. So I am a little bit behind. I believe I'm working on clue 5, or I just finished clue 5 with the Arctic hare, and I started clue 6 up here with it's like a big iceberg with some houses on it. So this project is on 28 count linen by Picture This Plus in the colorway Nocturne. And I am doing, it's 2/2. And I got 855 stitches in this project this last month. So most of them were finishing this, the Arctic hare, and then like that little bit of blue up on top. So I did get quite a bit done. And I chose this to be my focus project at the end of last month. I am hoping I finish it this year too, because it actually moves along quite quickly. And it's such a nice stitch. It's just the colors are fun. There's enough block stitching that you don't get like too burnt out from changing threads. So yes, it's looking really good. And I mean, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna get in a close-in of all those cute animals. Oh my gosh. If it has animals in it, I'm very likely to want to stitch it. That's pretty much, I mean, there's some, I think Plum Street Sampler has these super cute animal ones. Like, I want to say they're like stacks, or I don't know, there's a bat one that's so cute. Like, I just love it. So, all right. So then that was my first one. My next project, so I switched gears a little bit. I decided to pull out a sampler for the next one, because I was like, it's been a while since I've had this one. This one is by Jeannette Douglas, and it's called Hollandse Merklap. I'm maybe mispronouncing that, we'll see. I started this as a birthday start in 2022. Oh, it's such a fun stitch. So I got this as a kit. It is on 32 count linen in Light Mocha by Zweigart. And it came with all the assorted silks for this project. And I absolutely it's like it's the best part almost of this project is getting to work with all these neat silks. And I think there's like 4 different brands too, so it's quite a bit. But so yes, so and the other special thing about this project is it does have specialty stitches. So if you, I haven't done a ton yet, but you can see that the hearts are a type of, it's like a type of satin stitch almost. They have a special name. Gosh, can't remember. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom. But they're so neat. The effect is so cool, especially since the thread is also variegated. And then I pulled out the floss. So nothing like working with like really nice silks. So I think I said I got this kit from Hobby House. All right, and so then the next one is, and I do tend to get this name wrong, but it's called Do More of What Makes You Happy by the Historical Sampler Company, and it was in conjunction with Emma Congdon from Stitcherovia. So this project I started in 2024 last summer, and haven't gotten a lot done. I'm gonna switch sides here. So this time I worked on primarily the flower here. I started at the very top, and then I was able to get some of the back stitching in too, which is nice. I really like back stitching as I go. It makes it so much easier. And so this is on 36 count linen needle by needle and flax in the colorway Pemberley. And it's actually kind of it's like, it almost comes off more yellow than it does in the camera right now. And the stitches, honestly, they come out pretty tiny too. So I usually stitch in hand, so I'm a little concerned about like the back stitching being a little, you know, not maybe like the tension may not be as good. I hope it'll be okay. I mean, you can kind of, I guess you can, it was hard to do these long stitches in this yarn ball even, so you can kind of see they're uneven, but maybe that's the way it's supposed to see. I even used a couch stitch to like try to like kind of control some of those lines. So, but anyway, it's coming along. So, and they did this as a stitch along, I think over, I want to say it was like 6 to 8 weeks, which is really fast because it's 100 and almost like 150 by 170 or so stitches. So it's actually a fairly big stitch, and it has a lot of back stitching. So anyway, I thought it was pretty quick, a stitch along, but it is a really pretty one, and it has a lot of things that I can relate to, especially like with the reading. And I do knit and crochet, although I don't do it very often, and so it was fun. All right, so then the next one I worked on was the treasure shelf, and so this is when I switched gears to go to a full coverage. And this project is, it's just huge. Let's just be honest. Let me see if I can get my paper here that tells. So it's the Supersized Treasure Hunt Bookshelf Max Color by Heaven and Earth Designs with the art by Aimee Stewart. It's 999 stitches by 723. So, and by the time it's done, it's going to be over 3 feet wide. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so here's the whole picture. And I have done this on 25 count Lugana. And it is potato is the color. And so I I'm just gonna get it on my board here so we can look at it a little closer. I hope I got that. Yeah, I did. Fits the part I worked on. Okay, so I am doing the typewriter method, which is from Stitchin' Mommy, where you basically take 10 by 10 blocks all the way across. You pick a color in that block and you stitch it all the way out as much as you can, and then you pick the next color in that block, and then you basically finish the 10 by 10 block, and also hopefully a fair amount of stitches around it of that color, which I love because it kind of like, I don't know, I like cross-country stitching. I don't like having to choose the next color. So, and it kind of prevents too much counting because most of the colors, of course, have close, somewhat close. So I started in this area and I made it all the way to around here. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm like really proud of this. This is like 1,000 stitches that I worked on here. And I thought about the next time, like, I don't know, I was thinking about maybe starting, sometimes I'll do diagonal typewriter. So instead of doing it across, then I'll just pick in a line diagonal 10 by 10 blocks. And that way I get more of a variety of what to work on. So I do kind of want to do that. So maybe I'll switch it, but also the colors are fairly different throughout the top of this pattern, so it's not too bad. But at the same time, even though I made it all the way over here, because initially I was doing just the top line of stitches typewriter style, and that's why this area is so thin, but I think I still have like to here. Does that make sense? 3 feet? Yeah, that sounds about right. So I've still got a ways to go. So that's why I'm like, maybe I should start doing here, because then I'll get some books and I'll get some other things, and it'll like keep it a little bit more interesting. But also, if you do it that way, your colors, of course, are going to be as, you know, common per se, like, because the books down here are really dark, and then it's not gonna, those colors are not gonna translate to the pictures of here where the clouds are. So anyway, so I'll have to think about it. But yes, this is coming right along at probably 0.5%. Who's counting, right? So looks good though. Again, such a pretty picture, and the colors are beautiful. All right, so then I decided to stick on my full coverage, and this project is another Max Color supersized version called Magic Study, the rainbow version, and it's also by Heaven Earth Designs. Let me see if I can. The artwork is by Rose Kahn. And I got, let's see, how many stitches did I get on this one? Okay, so I got just over 1,000 tent stitches on this one. So this one I am doing tent stitch 2/1, and this is 32 count even weave with the easy count. So this is the first time I use the easy count for this project, and I actually really like it. It makes it a lot easier to jump around. I am doing a diagonal typewriter method in this one, which is, you can kind of see that it's like, you know, coming along that way. Some of these colors here, there's like a string of lights, and so that's what is picking up these extra colors way down here. So that's kind of neat. I've also got a butterfly here that's, yeah, it's almost time to fill it in. I think that's my next diagonal. So that's exciting. So another one that's 999 by 740. But this one's gonna be a little smaller since I did it on 32 count. So we're gonna look under 3 feet in size. And it has 240 colors, so it is massive. I didn't actually kit this up. I decided to pull from the master set of DMC that I have kind of as I work on the project, and then I'll just buy what I need as I need it. It's a little easier to do it that way because I I feel like with my treasure shelf, which is kitted up, the threads just get kind of tossed around so much, and this project's gonna last forever. So I just figured it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with lot numbers and color changes because there's so much. Honestly, there's so much color changes throughout. Even here, it may all look like that, like a navy blue, but there's actually a fair amount of like either almost like a really dark navy or black color. Not 310, but something close to it. So yes, it's I think it'll be fine. So so yeah. Oh, and I so this picture has dragons in it, and I just like love this minder. In a world of bookworms, be a book dragon. Oh, so cute. I thought that was perfect, especially since the girl in it is reading a book on her bed, so it makes it very fitting. So then, and it would not be a CraftDStitches floss tube if I did not pull out my Northwoods heirloom stocking that I basically try to work on every month. This stocking is by the Cooler Design Studio, and I have completed 2 stockings so far, and so this is my third. This one is for my third child. She's 3, and I am stitching at 3/2. This is on 25 count Lugana, also in potato, similar to the treasure shelf. I actually really like this color, and I love for the stockings too, especially it's nice and thick, so it's great for this. So yeah, so I'm hoping, my goal is to have this done by Christmas. That would be amazing because she's starting to notice now that she doesn't have a special stocking like her sister and brother do. I worked 116 stitches on this project this month, so not a ton, but I did get basically this whole area right here done. And I think also the bowl, which is going to have apples in it eventually. So the candle, it's like, there was a lot of colors in this candle. Like it's on the back, it's so thick because of all the color changes I had on it. And I was like, I hope that doesn't like wrinkle too bad when I finish it. But so yes, I'm glad to have gotten that done. Got some of even the wallpaper decoration up here done. I just wanted to break from the tree. That's a lot. So this is another one that I like to backstitch as I go. And so as soon as I finish this area, the apples and stuff, I will backstitch the chest. The other thing is each stocking I do a different fabric. So I coffee dyed my sons and tea dyed my daughters. And this one I went with the just a straightforward potato. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my husband and I's, but I've got time to think about it. All right, and so the next one then I feel like I just jumped around a whole bunch because okay, so the next one I pulled out was Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I actually restarted this one last year in June. I had originally started it on a 32 count fabric, which was like kind of a warmer color. It was like a like pinkish taupe maybe, and I just didn't like it. So I restarted it on a 36 count. And this one is Serenity by Atomic Ranch. And it's a linen as well. I am using silk from Mrs. Sada's silk on Etsy. And I believe the color is mulberry. And so yeah, so I have been working. This is one giant motif. I guess I'm about halfway done with it, but it's basically this heart section repeated 4 times. And I don't think I realized it when I started working on this motif, but I was like, oh my gosh, it's huge. I thought it was just a little area with a bird on it. And then here we go. It's really, really big. But this is a fun one to get out, and I don't have to worry about color changes. I do try to keep colors together if I can with the variegated silk. So I try to keep the blues, you know, if I have the end of the blue together with the others, so that it somewhat gives it more more depth of color. But I I do love this one. I have been trying to use beeswax a little bit more with my silk because it's so furry, or hair, I don't even know. It's fuzzy. I guess that's what it is, fuzzy. Let's see. Here it is. So I braided it, which actually is really nice because you can just pull one tiny strand off the bottom of this and it stays together. But I don't think no matter what I do, it's going to be furry silk. So that's why I do try it, and it does seem to help it a little bit, like define the strand a little bit. But I'm also very happy with how it's coming out. I like, this is like a navy blue up here, so I think that will be neat for both the border, but also the back stitching in it. So I'm looking forward to that showing up a little bit more. All right, so this one I started in 2021. This is the Modern Folk Embroideries stitch along at that time called Fruits of Plenty. And I started it about 3 months in. Switch sides again. All right, so I started this on 40 count linen by Zweigart in the colorway Flax. This was my first 40 count piece, so I was pretty excited. The other thing I did is these colors are sulky, but they are 30 weight thread. So it's like almost like a slightly thicker sewing thread. And sulky, of course, makes the I think it's 12 weight stitching thread, which you don't even have to use 2 strands of, which is nice, which I haven't tried yet, but I do hope to. But I have to say on 40 count, the 30 weight does a really good job. Plus, I mean, these colors are amazing. I love that the pink is variegated. It shows up really well with that like greenish teal color. So this is another easy one to pull out and stitch. There's no color changes. I do try to, like I said, you know, to keep, actually with this one, I don't think I try to keep the pinks variegation too much together because it changes so frequently in the thread that I don't really have to worry about it because it changes quickly. So it's not like the other one where it's a kind of like a slow transition to the darker blue. So anyway, I hadn't worked on this one in a while, so it was nice to see it. And I'm hoping to work, maybe in the next month, I'm going to work more down here and get more of this pink done. There's a lot of the pink in the project. I mean, I think it almost feels like when I was looking at the picture that it's so much more of the lighter color than it is of the dark. So, which is fine, except it is a little easier, of course, to crisscross. Like I do try to do one stitch at a time when I'm using variegated thread, and that makes it a little bit more tricky. but yes, it's coming along. This is another huge one though. It's 382 by 251. So it's going to take a while. And I think the date is actually up here somewhere, like not too far from now. So I'm like, what date am I going to put on it? Like 2050. I'm just kidding. I don't know when I'll finish it, but I might leave that part blank for a while until I'm ready to fill it in. All right, and this brings me to my last one, which I don't need my board for. This one is another one that's easy to stitch and get stitch counts on. I'm still doing the Whip Warriors stitch group. So currently they have this event called, it's like a road trip through Australia. And so they basically, you're traveling and they give you a certain amount of stitch count to get to the next location. And so I've been trying to, because they decided to make these stitch counts so high at the end of this last event, like I'm supposed to get like 2,400 stitches. that's gonna, like, for my life, that takes a lot. Like, that's probably 2.5 weeks of stitching at least. So anyway, I've been trying to pick projects that are a little bit more easy to, like, less color changes, no back stitching, preferably full stitch. Um, so anyway, these are the things I've been thinking about just to try to get through this one event. So this was another project, as was Pandemic and the Modern Folk Embroidery piece. This one is called This Home, which I love. I know I'm going to show the picture, and I love that it says cuddles and caffeine because that is me. Like, if I could just do everything with cuddles and caffeine with my kids and my family here, like, that's just great. So, so it's called This Home, and it's by Love for Cross Stitch on Etsy. It's on 28 count Lugana in the colorway Whisper. And I am doing this 1/1 with one, so it's one strand. I've picked 3 colors. So this time I have basically finished the word home. I think I just had the H started from the last time I worked on this one. And I love how it looks. Like, I think it's the perfect size. And it's really nice to stitch on. I don't get to use hoops very often. I will use them for my full coverage pieces, pretty much anything that's 1/1. So, because otherwise it just gets too much distortion when I stitch. So it's nice to have a hoop every now and then, breaks it up, makes it different. And the other neat thing I'm planning on doing with this one, which right so far I've gotten about 550 stitches this month, so I'm pretty happy with that. Is I picked colors. So of course there's black, which you can see on the thing. But I've also picked, let me see if I can get them out. Okay. Well, you don't need to see black. That's not new. So I've got this Fun Etoile color, and I'm gonna make that the cuddles part here in the middle. And at the bottom where it says caffeine, I've picked a Gentle Arts Brown Bear. So it's a variegated brown to use for the coffee beans and the word caffeine. So I'm kind of excited because, like, got to pick those out. So I'm hoping to get to that pink one soon. That would be so fun. So otherwise, that one's there. So those are the projects I worked on this month. I feel like I was really productive. I did not add up all the stitches I did or at least since I last talked, but it was thousands. It was definitely thousands. And I'm really proud, like with Pandemic, and I actually would like at least, I think 3 or 4 projects, I was in the woods of 900 to 1,000 stitches. So, like, I just feel like that's really helpful for feeling like you've done, you know what I mean? You've made a really big difference in the project. So, except for maybe Treasure Shelf, because 1,000 stitches is like nothing because there's like 700,000 stitches. So just 700 more times and I'll finish it. So anyway, so I have really enjoyed this month though. I've really focused on things I felt like stitching and wanted to stitch that way. And also things I hadn't touched in a while, which is fun. Next month I am, we talked about that finish that I'm hoping to get done. I'd also like to do the pink stitching with the Modern Folk Embroidery piece, or maybe This Home, depending. And that's another thing for the Whip Warriors group, which, by the way, is like, it's a closed group for now, but they do open for more people to join in November. So if it's something that you guys like, you think gains and like motivation like that is fun for stitching, you should definitely join. It's lots of fun. But there's also Zoom calls and stuff. I haven't been able to do that yet, but I'm hoping one day I'll have like a chance. So anyway, they have this place I'm supposed to travel to in Australia, which I don't remember the name of, but apparently it was well known for mining pink diamonds. And so it's like, I think they want you to, I think my number is like 2,000 stitches to get there. But if I stitch 500 pink stitches, they'll take off 1,500 stitches off that total, and I'll only have to do the 500. So I'm like, that's that sounds worth it. Plus I get like, you know, it's focus on something that I wouldn't necessarily normally always work on. So anyway, we'll see. Those are kind of the two things I have in my mind that I want to work on. I also want to work some more on the Arctic animals um, project, and also the Magic Kingdom Sal. That's the other one with the that has the Magic Kingdom castle. I need to pick up a DMC color for that so I can finish one of the blocks I started that is basically done except for that one color. So that would be nice to work on too. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. It is always so much fun to go over my projects and talk about the details of them. If you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. Join me next time, and I hope everyone has a really nice rest of their March and a beautiful April. Happy stitching.